Listen to Iron Maiden, baby, with me.
Welcome to Listen to Iron Maiden, baby. I'm Ash from South Wales.
I'm Ante from New South Wales.
And we're still opening with that.
We're going with it, man. It works.
Well, to kick off then, let's go with
mail, motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
we got a mail from a Mr.
Mhm.
Now, I met this guy.
Yeah.
And I know you know him, but
Okay.
I've never actually heard his last name said out loud. Matt Youngblood?
That sounds right to me.
Or is it Jungblood?
No, I think Young.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what I would say, but
Yeah,
you know, Americans always like he's American, right?
He's American, yeah.
That's right. I met him a few times. A nice guy.
Mhm.
He emailed in about in the battle of the South Wales versus the New South Wales.
Okay. I didn't know it was a battle.
That's right. Apparently it
Fair
is.
enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So he said last week's episode was hysterical.
Yep.
You both have found your groove. Oh, thanks, babe.
Ooh.
I figure that Ash may want to know what sort of person he's involved with, so I've included an attachment that was sent to me recently, and he sent me basically about Australian crazy stuff that happens, about babies and stuff. But Matt, listen, I'm from Britain, man, and we're very cultured people. And not only that, I have a lot of family in Australia, and I know all about the old Bogans and those guys. Well, thank you for emailing us, mate, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. But
Well-versed.
I'm very well versed on Australia and South Africa. I have a lot of family in South Africa.
Oh, okay.
And Australia, and Bogans in Australia. My cousins always text me about the Bogans. So, can you explain to me what a Bogan is, Auntie?
Bogan's really just kind of like your Australian lowlife, really.
I'm glad you're here to say that. Yeah, because my family live in Perth, and apparently that's like where all the main, it's Bogan Central, basically.
Bougainville?
Yeah.
Hang on, that's a place, right?
Oh, really?
Isn't it Bougainville?
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But thank you for emailing in. Anyway, so guys. So today we're here to talk about Bruce Dickinson joining the band. And if you don't want to know, if you'd like to know who Bruce is, let's listen to this video. Right, this is Bruce on stage in Greece.
I need a time to think, to get the memories from my mind. What did I see? A cunt with a fucking flare. I'm gonna sing up here, you fucking cocksucker. You Greek cunt, alright? I'm gonna fucking sing, alright? Fuck you.
What a gentleman.
Yeah.
So that was him on stage in Greece, where people are shooting flares up while he's singing. So it's just funny because he just says, a Greek cunt, cunt with a flare. Like, I love that he goes, you Greek cunt, like that's like some kind of like insult or something. But
What would you personally prefer? Would you prefer flares or spitting? Yeah.
well, I know both are bad, right? But
Right.
what's funny is that English people in general, whenever they're angry, their colonial like racism comes straight out of them. Like, he didn't call him anything, he just called him a Greek cunt. Like, being anything other than British is an insult, right? And that's why I love that kind of thing. I think it's really funny. So, and Bruce, he knows all about history and stuff like that. And call him a Greek cunt is hilarious. Yeah. But yeah, man, Bruce Dickinson, right? So everybody knows Bruce, right? But before we talk about Bruce, can carry on, because like I said, Ante, you are a new listener to Maiden, but of course you knew Bruce Dickinson, right?
I came from the regiments of Bruce.
Yeah, tell me about Bruce. What do you know about Bruce?
I don't know. All I know is Bruce is he's a pilot boy. He's
That's
a fly
right.
boy. That's not a connection I knew about him when I first, just after delving into it, been like, hang on, this guy likes planes.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yes.
He likes history.
Yeah.
He likes planes.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. But you knew Bruce just like, did you only know him as the singer of Iron Maiden?
Pretty much.
Yeah, because he's probably the most well-known member, because he was also the presenter of the Headbangers Ball MTV show. So that was before my time.
Yeah.
But a lot of people know him from that, and his personality, because he's got like a really, interesting sense of humor, and some people either love him or hate him. But he undeniably, besides Eddie, he is the face of the band. No matter how much Steve wants to be, he's
That's
not.
true. Yeah,
It's all about Bruce, right? And we just finished up listening to Killers and Iron Maiden. And you enjoy listening to those two
I
albums,
enjoyed
right?
listening, and it had me thinking, like, you know, especially the difference in the vocals of Paul between the first to the second album, right?
Yeah.
It's like the second album he's starting to hit
Yeah,
these higher
he's doing
notes.
higher notes, etc. Yeah.
You know, interestingly enough, Bruce coming in after, you know, and
yeah.
what do you reckon in an alternate universe if it was done the other way, that Bruce was the first two albums and then something happened and then Paul took on from then?
Well, of course, that would be interesting, isn't it? But the problem is that, like, Bruce's band was Samson before Maiden, and Samson were playing with Maiden, headlining over them most of the time.
Yeah.
So Paul definitely knew who Bruce was, and they know each other.
Yeah.
So they must have seen Samson singing, and you know how Bruce sung. He was singing, you know, quite similarly in that band.
Yeah.
So imagine that Paul, it wouldn't have worked because the music that Maiden were doing suited Paul's voice, you know, those two albums.
No, you're right, yeah.
And if Bruce was doing it, I don't think it would be, they would have written things differently, I think.
Yeah.
Because
it just would have been different.
It
right?
would have been different, yeah. It would have been different, and like they would have done things very differently. But yeah, that would be interesting because like Paul, his voice has got limitations, but he still got, you know, he's still got it, you know, he's got that thing that people need.
He's still got a good range.
Yeah.
But not to put anyone down, he's not Bruce.
No, that's right. But you can imagine them watching Bruce and being like, "Oh, why? Wish you had him." That'd be good, wouldn't it? Yeah, yeah. But yeah, man, I still love the album, but like as I said before, I'm after songs that I just want to keep replaying and replaying.
Mm-hmm.
We were listening to the song Killers. We just wanted to listen to that over and over, right?
Right.
Yeah,
that was
exactly. And a lot of the first album has songs like that for me, which I want to replay them. And Killers has a couple. That's it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But but after Killers, mate, Paul is no longer in the band.
I was getting a little bit unhappy at the time, and that was the time to sort of, you know, sort of get away.
The more success we were having, the more he couldn't deal with it, or didn't want to deal with it. I mean, I remember one particular gig in Germany, and he was just like saying, "Oh, I don't want to be here. I want to be home. I want to go home."
There we go. So the documentary does touch on it, right? And now, over the years, I mean, this was 1981.
Mm-hmm.
Paul has gone back and forth on he quit, he left, whatever. But at this end of the day, all that matters is that he left the band.
Yeah.
And for sure, he was missing shows because his voice just wasn't, you know, like he physically couldn't sing because he was burning his voice out, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That happens to a lot of people, right? But either way, they were looking for a new singer while he was in the band. So this wasn't
it was already issues there.
That's right. He wasn't. This wasn't like they were looking. He got fired and then they started looking.
Mm-hmm.
They were already doing it, which is in a way is the best way to do things. If you know how things are going to go anyway, you might as well do it early and, you know, get someone lined up ready to go because you know, otherwise you've got like a huge gap where you're doing nothing.
Well, they
right?
kind of have to. They're already playing in a different league. You know, they're coming to.
Yes.
So yeah.
And Paul even says that he saw that it wouldn't work with Bruce. And I can see what he means there, because if you listen to those first two albums and then thought, wait a minute, they're going to continue doing this kind of music with Bruce, I would definitely think, it wasn't going to work, right?
You're right.
Yeah. Now, this is a clip I found of Paul, actually. But listen, this clip was in 1987.
Mm-hmm.
Paul is on Spanish TV, right? Now, let's watch this video, ready?
Hello, Paul. Welcome to Spain. Paul, ¿cómo es que dejaste Iron Maiden? Why did you leave Iron Maiden?
Well, the music we was doing wasn't heavy enough, so I decided to get out while the going was good. That's what I did, and I formed this band.
And what band do you prefer, this one or the other? ¿Qué banda prefieres, esta o la otra?
This one, definitely. This one's heavy.
Oye, ¿tú crees que está de moda el hecho de que los líderes de los grupos heavies dejen sus grupos para cantar en solitario?
I don't know. I don't think so. It's just that I couldn't have got any further with that band, so I decided to further it with the music and get some really good musicians. I don't know. Not every leader of a band does that, but it was fun, so we tried it out.
¿Cómo es tu último álbum? How is your last album?
It's doing very well in America.
All right, so that video is Paul Di'Anno on stage in 1987 on a Spanish TV show, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you watch the video on YouTube, guys, just type in Paul Di'Anno in Spain, you'll find it. Now, like I said, his body language is he's quite like his anxiety is quite high. You can see.
Right. Yep.
This is 1987. He said he left Iron Maiden because it wasn't heavy enough.
Yeah, hang on.
And like he couldn't get any further with the band. Like, what do you mean? What, selling out arenas and shit like that? You know.
Yeah.
But I know what he means though. Like it's weird, isn't it? Because whatever reason he left the band, right? Whatever his mindset was at the time, you know, he couldn't see any other way. But later, after a couple of years, you know, like if you ever been like working for like nonstop for a couple of months, and you just hate it, and you take you get a week off, whatever, and you're like, oh, I just needed that week off, and now I can go back and crack on, and you're like, oh shit, why did I do that? You know, kind of thing. You know, I feel like that's what it is. You know, and he has tried to, you know, further. He's carried on singing and stuff with his career, but. Immediately, someone just asked him, which band do you prefer?
I was about to say, how's that question? You're there with your new band.
I told you, right? He's had his whole life because of Maiden, and they're always asking him, do you like Maiden better? Like, so I can tell why he would be a little bit pissed off about it, you know, because, you know, but, you know, he said that he wanted to do like heavier stuff, right? Yeah. But he goes, that's what happened after Maiden.
No, wait. In what sense heavier?
Yeah. Right? Like he said, I want to get out and do this. Paul Di'Anno, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean, though? So that band he was in is called Battle Zone, which are quite heavy.
Yeah.
But that was 1987. This is almost 7 years later that you did that, you know? So that's bollocks, you know? And Paul leaving is a huge debate, you know, about all the information. Okay, so we were not there. We have no idea, right? But you know, he made a band called Battlezone, tried to do heavy stuff, and after that failed, he just tried doing like Iron Maiden knockoffs, basically, and stuff like that. But I'm joking with Paul. I love Paul, but yeah, that makes me. You can tell he's quite. You saw that video, right? He's you know, like he's got that personality of like, I'm fine. He's trying to like be nice and but you can tell he just wants to get away, you know, and like he's 2 seconds away from just going fuck off. Yeah, exactly. You know? But I did find some quotes about at the time when Paul left, right? So there's a place called Metal Blade Records. They do kind of like, now they do like, I think what's the website? It's some metal website anyway, but they said even like in 1981, I think the guy was Brian Slagle or something, and he interviewed Paul in 1981, and he said that Di'Anno said to him that he wanted to leave even then. Okay. So like that's like backing him up that Paul did want to leave anyway. That's why when they fired him, basically he was like, "Yeah, I'm ready to go anyway." Yeah, he was fine with it. Yeah. And Dennis Stratton, old Dennis, said that he even told Rod Smallwood, the manager, that with Paul as a singer, they would never break America. And Dennis, who you know has got like that view of like harmony and Eagles kind of stuff, I think he's right, man. There's Maiden barely had a hit in America with Bruce singing like that. I can't see a song that Paul would have sung which would be like a hit, you know, like a radio hit.
No, you're right. Definitely a hard scene to crack over there. I mean, it's a big place. How many bands are already doing the circuits?
Yeah, it's very, very tough, isn't it? Yeah,
definitely.
Anyway, but Paul's gone. Thank you, Paul, for those 2 albums. We did save Maiden Japan for you in the future because we want to come back and listen to you sing again. We did enjoy singing to you, but yeah, good job, mate. But
and in the end, it was a point where we thought, well, we can't carry on with him like this because it's just going to pull us all under.
Yeah, just can't carry on. So here comes the new thing now. He's still in the band, but they are auditioning a few people, right?
Yeah.
Now, the first person they talk about is this guy.
We actually tried Terry Slessor. I mean, he's a fantastic singer. And some songs sounded brilliant, but other songs, some, you know, more heavy, harder songs like Iron Maiden or stuff like that didn't really work.
All right, so he's talking about this guy called, the name is really hard to say.
Yeah.
Slessor. Terry Slessor. Not Sessa or it's Slessor. Anyway. Right, mate. This is where Iron Maiden just get fucked up for me, right? Now, Terry Slessor, right, was a singer of a band called Beckett in 1974, right?
Yeah.
Called Beckett, right? They made one album and he went off, right? What happened is that AC/DC, Bon Scott died, and Brian Johnson's band Geordie, he was the frontier, he joined AC/DC, and then Brian Slessor joined Geordie as their singer. Okay? Then he secretly auditioned for Iron Maiden, right? Now, Rod Smallwood, Iron Maiden's manager, was also the manager for Beckett, right?
Yeah.
So there's, clear connection ties there, right? Steve Harris had definitely seen this band because later in the future, they record a cover of this band's song. It's called Rainbow's Gold. It's a B-side in the future.
Yeah. I can already see, like, the map, like at a police investigation.
Yeah, there's
room.
like
we've got the strings.
Yeah. This is exactly what this is, right? Yeah, this definitely happened in court, right?
Yeah.
So clearly, they're not shying away from the fact that they know the band and they know this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we get to the Number of the Beast, which is the next album, which we'll probably be doing next, mate, there's a song on the album of Beckett called Life's Shadow, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to save you because this is not about that. We'll save that for the Number of the Beast episode. But it's ridiculous, right? Basically, there's a song on there called Life's Shadow where they've basically just lifted half the lyrics for Hallowed Be Thy Name.
Oh.
And the end of the song,
in
the year 2000, they come out with this album called Brave New World, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they have a song on there. And basically, it's exactly note for note the end of this song. Even the melody, like the chords, fine, but it's even got the same melody. And like I said, I don't want to dive into that right now because that's not what this is about. This is about Bruce joining the band.
I know, but we're going to need some more string.
Yeah.
Right?
It's going to be like
more red string.
Yeah, mate, it's insane, man. We're going to have to call in bloody, who's Daniel Craig in that film? A detective. Blanc.
That guy.
Yeah.
We'll fax him in.
Yeah, we need.
Sorry.
We need the fax machine's going to be working on overdrive, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is what I'm saying, right? They openly admit in this documentary that they auditioned Terry Slessor, and it doesn't make any sense because I'm thinking, right? Steve knew he stole the lyrics, right? And he said that he used them as placeholder lyrics for Halloween and they just didn't take them out. So he must have known it, right? So the best thing you should do is just completely pretend you don't know them. You don't do a cover of their song and then in an interview say, yeah, I knew them. Wouldn't you distance yourself?
The evidence is full, just piling up.
It doesn't make sense. That's why I feel like, what's the mentality there, right? Right. You stole this guy's song, lyrics, right? And the song, but you do a cover of the song. Is it like a big fuck you?
I guess so.
What is it? What's that about?
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
No, that's just odd.
Because when you hear it, you're like, there's no way that you could deny this. This is like no for no. And then the lyrics are exactly the same as well. But then to keep bringing them up in the future, it's like...
Something smells.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it, right? It's like, all right, imagine, right, that you cheated on your wife, right?
Yeah.
And she forgives you, but you keep bringing it back up. Instead of her, Ante, just shut up about it. You don't, if she brought it up in an argument, to be like, yeah, fair play, I did do that, fair dues. But if for you to bring it up, doesn't make any sense, right?
What's wrong with you, man?
Yeah. Just shut up about it, That's what I feel like it's like, Anyway, it just doesn't make any bloody sense to me, right? What happened? But we'll when we get to Number of the Beast, we'll talk about it, right? But it is crazy. Anyway.
I hadn't even met Bruce, but you get opinions on things. I don't really like him because I thought Bruce was a stupid name. I thought the white thing he used to wear on stage looked really naff in the press. And also, Samson had messed about with Maiden before I got involved, so I do bear grudges.
When Steve suggested that I become the new singer of Maiden, he was like, no, I'm not having him. It's from them,
I love the... I don't like his name.
Bruce.
Bruce is a stupid name.
Yeah.
I'm sure people think that about me sometimes too. It's like, imagine going up to someone and just like, I don't like you because I think you have a stupid name.
I know. Well, see, Rod is from Yorkshire, right? So these people in Yorkshire think that everything is, if you have any color that isn't black or red, then you're a puff or whatever. So that's it. But
fair enough.
Yeah, Bruce. But man, when Bruce was in Samson, he did look interesting, with his mustache, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But so Bruce, man. So Bruce Dickinson, right? He released an autobiography, which is an audiobook form, which is online, which you can listen to. It's very, very good. But we'll listen to some clips between Bruce's, viewpoint of stuff and also what's in the documentary.
Quite nice listening to him read it out too.
It is good, isn't it? Yeah, I really like the autobiography because you know, he makes a lot of jokes in it, which I don't get half the time. And I'm like, oh, okay. Or I have to, what's that word? But when you hear it said in a context, you understand the meaning.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, so I like that, you know. So when you read stuff, sometimes you're like, is that a positive meaning? Yeah. Because like this guy was born in 58. So a lot of the phrases he uses is like, I'm too young to know what they mean, you know. So
Grandpa Simpson.
Exactly. Talking to Grandpa Simpson though, I had a realization the other day, like some of the new Iron Maiden songs.
Yeah,
I think Bruce sounds good, but at some points he does sound like Grandpa Simpson. So some of the choruses are like way too high, and it's like,
and he's trying to still hit the.
And it's like the tone of his voice sounds like Grandpa Simpson, whatever. So yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, I did make a note of that. I did say that, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so in the future, we'll do a whole thing about Bruce Dickinson and his early life and stuff like that because, you know, the autobiography is out, but we're only talking about him joining Maiden after leaving Samson, right? Yep. So, man, that mustache though, Bruce and Samson. Just Google Bruce Dickinson Samson, right? It's brilliant. Now, let's listen to one song that Samson did, and there's a video, right? It's called Biceps of Steel. So everyone just go to the YouTube, type in Samson Biceps of Steel, and let's listen to Bruce singing. Right.
Yeah.
I just love listening to Bruce sing, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
How good is Bruce? Like,
dude, that's awesome.
That's a pretty good song, right?
Watch the video, people.
Yeah, watch the video, everyone, right? Yeah. Because the video was probably some part of a film they were doing, and they incorporated him into the music video.
Yeah.
And the roadie in it is actually Thunderstick.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
He's the drummer, but like his brother was like playing the drummer or something like that, like as a fake drummer, because you never actually see his face, but that is him there. Yeah, so Bruce is in Samson, right? So he's in this band. They're playing with Maiden a lot. They all know each other, but Samson just wasn't really going anywhere. And luckily, Bruce got, he got the call.
Yeah.
So they head off to Reading Festival, and I actually listened to Bruce singing at Reading Festival. It's on YouTube, so it's really, really good. They sound really good. Bruce is awesome. But let's listen to Reading thing.
Yep.
We went along to Reading with Steve. We both drove down there, and he said, "Well, we're going to go and check out this singer."
So we went down to Reading, and I watched about half a number.
And within the first half of song, we both looked at each other and went, "That's it." Yeah, and that was, and then obviously Rod hooked him in.
Yeah, I was like, when I met Andy, I was like, that's him.
That's it. Yeah.
That's the one.
Oh,
yeah.
Gets me right in the feels.
Yeah, but man, Reading Festival, right? In the UK, we have two big festivals, rock festival. Well, there's one which is Glastonbury, which is like a pop festival.
Right.
But for rock, it's always been Reading Festival and Download Festival, which was called Monsters of Rock, became Download.
Mm-hmm.
Download is mostly metal, and Reading was more of the like pop rock indie stuff. It started off as like a jazz festival though, but slowly became a rock one. Both festivals are awesome. I've been to both, and they're quite fun. Download is just more like metal and kind of just it is very enjoyable, but you have to like a lot of the bands. Whereas Reading can be quite diverse.
And Glastonbury was always a pop scene, or
well, just whatever's in the charts basically. So there was always rock stuff there too, but whatever's popular was Glastonbury. But Glastonbury is an event. So.
Like even in Australia with some of the festivals, like the one or two big ones.
Yeah,
like
what do you have over Australia?
We've got the Big Day Out.
Okay.
That's the first one that comes to my head. I know there's a few others, but when you think back a few years when it was like literally this is about bands, rock, it was heavy things.
Yeah.
And then as it got on, it's like you'd see like, why is this person performing?
I see.
And like the little bit of pop stuff starts to come in. It's interesting. But
yeah, it always happens with like crossover bands.
Yeah.
Like I remember,
right.
do you know The Prodigy?
Yeah.
Now,
that's right. They were hard to class.
Yeah,
right?
Prodigy is like dance music, but they're always in the rock scene. And it's like,
well, yeah, the early stuff is like full on raver.
Yeah, like what makes them like, and Pendulum, there's a band, Australian band Pendulum.
Pendulum, yeah.
And when I was growing up, they were like, it's dance music, but they were always playing in the rock festivals.
Yeah, interesting how they could kind of creep their way in.
Yeah, it's I don't know. And Motorhead is like a thrash band, but they've mixed into metal and rock, and
yeah.
You can't really put them anywhere.
Not everyone can do it, but some of these bands do.
Well, that's what's interesting, right? Is to have like bands that are a bit of like Iron Maiden as a result of that. I mean, Steve had all these influences, right? And you can hear them because they just take a little bit of it, add it with this little bit, and then it becomes a new thing, and that's what it is. It's not stealing as much as it is like just, you like what you like and you want to play that, but then you also like this other stuff and you mix it together and it makes something new.
Why not?
Exactly, yeah. But anyway, so Bruce playing Reading Festival with Samson, and Rod approaches him after the gig, right? So let's listen to that.
I was in a corner of a beer tent when Rod Smallwood approached me saying, "Let's go somewhere quiet where we can talk." We walked out and stood, illuminated, for all the world to see, under the pole in the middle of the backstage area. I felt sure he was working up to something. "Do you want to come back to my room for a chat?" he said. I felt sure he didn't have any etchings for me to see. Back in the room, away from prying eyes, Rod laid out his cards. "I'm offering you the chance to audition for Iron Maiden," he said. "You interested?" Well, there'd been enough beating around bushes and tap dancing around issues, I decided, so I told him what I thought. First of all, you know I'll get the job, or you wouldn't ask. Second, what's going to happen to Paul, the current singer, and does he know he's going? Thirdly, when I do get the job, and I will, are you prepared for a totally different style and opinions and someone who is not going to roll over? I may be a pain in the arse, but it's for all the right reasons.
See, I love hearing that in Bruce's own voice, it's great to have it. But man, great job there by Rod Smallwood, right? Because he said, "I'm offering you the chance to audition for Iron Maiden."
Yeah.
Now, clearly, he knows you're the man.
Yeah, exactly.
We want you. But that's...
you're not going to give it all.
That's a good manager, man, is giving them the, well, do you want to audition for it? Doing his job very well there, right?
I'm giving you the chance.
Yeah. Never show your hand, right? Never do that, yeah? I love haggling too, man. Do you like haggling?
Oh, it depends on my mood. I'm not too much of a haggler.
What about, what's haggling like in Australia?
What, you mean like...
in general? What's the culture?
I don't think there's too much of it.
Really? There's a lot of it in the UK. And in Japan, I figured out how to do haggling here. There's no haggling in Japan, but there is a technique you do.
Tell me.
It's called just waiting until they get too uncomfortable and just cave in. So I'll give you an example, right? I wanted to buy a leather jacket.
Yeah.
A nice one, right? So I went to the store and the price was about, I think it was like 30,000 yen. And I put it on and the guy was like, "Oh, you look great." And I was like, "Yeah, I love it. I love it." And I was like, but I just bought these new speakers. That's a shame, And I just kept the jacket on and I was just looking at myself in the mirror and like posing and shit. Yeah. And I was thinking, right, let me just do this for a couple of 5 minutes, whatever. And I kept saying, sorry, I it's too expensive for me.
Yeah.
And then I didn't take it off. I put it back. I just kept it on looking at it. And I think about 8 minutes later, he just ran off to the back, comes back and we can give you a discount for it. I was like, all right, I'll take it.
Hey.
But I realized that's what it is. You outweight them because there's no way they can do it, but it's not the culture here to do that, right? So they just,
that's what I thought straight when you said like, really?
Yeah. But where I'm from, haggling is just part of the culture, but I was like, let me try it here. And I realized, they get so uncomfortable and, they want to make the sale. So they just, let me just ask someone for a second. So I had a lovely little leather jacket there. Thank you, mate, haggling. But like I said, don't show your hand, man. And even in Japan, man, we both live in Japan. The amount of times that I just pretend that I just don't understand any Japanese has served me hugely, right? Because it's one of those cards that we have in our pocket that you just pull out. And I don't know how many times I got on the bus and I went to like pay and I just pulled out like a bunch of coins in my hand. And the bus driver goes, "Oh, go."
Oh, really?
Because you can see the coins and I'm doing it on purpose. But I'm like, looking, I'm like, and he's just like, "Oh, go, whatever." Or like the price is like 220 yen, but I just put 200 in it. I just look at him and he goes, "Go." And I'm like, okay, because like whatever, man, But Andy, so we're just into Bruce's autobiography, right?
Yeah.
If you were to write an autobiography about yourself, what are you not putting in there? Because I always think about it. I'm like, I'm not putting that in there. I'm not putting that in there because it just makes me look like just an idiot or it's just embarrassing. Can you give me something off the top of your head you wouldn't put in there?
That I wouldn't put in there.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
But now I'm putting it out there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a hard one because when I'm thinking about it, like if you asked me this question maybe say 10 years ago or something, maybe I'd be a little bit more like, oh, I don't know, like I'd be a bit more conscious about putting. Whereas these days I'm really like, whatever.
Yeah, right.
Put it out there.
I know.
Let's all have a laugh about it. Because if you can't laugh at yourself first, I
totally agree with you.
I really don't have. Maybe that's also because maybe I'm just a boring human being. There's not really much that I have to hide at the same
it might be like that.
Yeah.
I mean, most people think that life is like Instagram and it's just things happening all the time, but actually not that much.
Yeah.
I guess I would probably take out. Well, then again, if you're writing an autobiography, you want to be reflective, right? But the problem in today's society is that apparently if you show that you were like a human at some point or didn't understand something back in the day, you get cancelled and called like an idiot, Yeah. I mean, I'm from a small village in South Wales, right? And I openly admit that when I was growing up, I had no idea about racial slurs, American slurs. My cousin used to listen to rap music, right?
Yeah.
And they used the N-word all the time, but I never knew what it meant. And I was just singing along to the song. And only later that someone told me, hey, you shouldn't say that word. I was like, what is it? I don't even know what it means. And they're talking about rims on the car. I was like, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. What's a rim? I had no idea what they're talking about. And but I just love the sound of the accents, whatever,
How old? You don't know.
Right?
Whereas,
exactly.
If that was to come out now.
Exactly.
And it's like, hey, do you know Ashley?
Yeah.
Which Ashley? The one from the Iron Maiden podcast.
Yeah. Wow.
He used to sing the N-word.
Oh my God. What a scumbag.
Everybody spread it out, hashtags,
That's right.
the whole,
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Faxes going you wouldn't believe.
Mate, the Japanese would be just blowing me up with the faxes, Yeah. But yeah, so in an autobiography, it's supposed to be reflective, so if you leave out some stuff, then, you're not really serving anyone and reading it too, if it's all just this happened, it's boring.
Right.
Bruce's one is really good because he does talk about his, his life and his early years, whichever, but don't leave stuff out, lads. It's fine.
He's not talking about Greek cunts, right?
No, you Greek cunt. I can't believe he said that though. What an insult, you're from Croatia. I mean, it doesn't work. You Croatian, it just doesn't work, is it?
Too many, double up the C.
No, we don't have any phrase for Croatians really. So
no, I don't think there is.
Can't imagine. Anyway,
someone will think of it. I'll give you some time. Don't worry.
I'm sure Slovakia or someone have got a bad word for you. Yeah.
If anyone can think of it though, Ashley, I have faith in you.
I'll try to find one. Right?
Yep.
I'll get it. All right, mate. So, Bruce, man. So, let's carry on with Bruce.
I was asked to learn 4 songs for the Iron Maiden audition. The band had 2 albums by now, so I learned all the songs. I didn't exactly have a great deal else to do. I turned up to the rehearsal studios in Hackney, and if I'd been looking at the group as a military unit, I would have assessed their morale as being rock bottom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, the band has been successful, but their lead singer has been letting them down, and they're just, feeling a bit bummed. They don't know what's happening, right? Because, man, at this time, they had no idea that they were to have a hit album. The next album was going to be
just around the corner.
In a way, the next album is kind of the most famous album they've ever done, you know?
Well, for a lot of people, the next album is the start of Iron Maiden, right?
And right before it, they're like, oh, fuck, what's going to happen? Right? It's weird, isn't it? How crazy that is, right? Yeah. And even the image, right? So Bruce joins, they say, go out and get a leather jacket. No matter how much you pretend it isn't important, image is so important for bands and artists, right?
Oh, definitely.
Even the whole Iron Maiden of white t-shirt, leather jacket, jeans and some boots, whatever, that is an outfit, you know?
Yeah.
You don't have to be like Kiss and, dress up like that, but it still is important. So what Bruce was wearing in Samson just wouldn't look right in Maiden.
No, definitely not.
In his fencing gear or whatever.
Yeah.
And it is important no matter what you say, right? So Bruce is in, and man, what he just said, he learned all the songs.
Yeah.
Bro, activeness is what you want. Having someone who just does stuff that you don't have to ask them to do is so important. My band at the moment, Never Tell, which I have, in Japan, the singer Richie is so proactive. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like, I literally send him some music. He sends me back lyrics, recorded melody, harmony, everything done. He's got like, and the video's going to be this. It's like,
legend.
I love it. That's what you want, right? And not everyone is like that, but when you do have people like that, that's which is when it makes things so much easier. So for Bruce to learn all the songs, he didn't need to. He just needed to learn the songs.
Do you think he was waiting for like maybe they're going to trick me and go, "Hey, do you know this song?" And he can just go, "Yeah,
probably."
Bring it on.
Yeah, probably was thinking that because Bruce, no matter how Bruce is really cocky when he said like, "I will get the job."
Isn't it?
But he still wanted to be in.
Yeah,
right? They're both in the same position, but you can't just show your hand. That it's a.
You're right. You're right. They're both like,
right.
We want him. He wants in, but we can't.
Yeah.
No one can show their hand.
It's like a Japanese drama, right? They both want to say "I love you," but we can't because if I say "I love you," and you don't like me, it's like,
just do it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right. So they're both in the same boat, really. But yeah, for him to be proactive and to learn stuff, man, is fantastic. But losing your singer is huge, isn't it? Right.
Massive.
Right, for a band, especially rock bands, man. I mean, the singer, actually, all music. What am I talking about? Everything.
It's pretty much the identity and soul of that's the sound, the connection to the people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine, like, even like AC/DC is an interesting one, right? Because they had Bon Scott, who just had an amazing voice, amazing stage presence.
Yeah.
But when Brian came in, they wrote the biggest album ever. And even though I still prefer, I think every Bon Scott song I like.
Yeah.
Whereas Brian Johnson's had some like okay albums, you know. There's a lot of AC/DC albums which are, after Bon, which are like okay, there's some hits on there, but compared to Bon, where every song is like yes, but they're different, but they're still good. But there's Guns N' Roses without Axl.
Oh, yeah.
It wouldn't work really. I don't think, right?
That's a very
Imagine
certain
Tool.
bands that have such a distinct voice.
Yeah, imagine Tool without Maynard. Like imagine like Bruce singing on Tool songs. Didn't it just
doesn't work.
It doesn't work, right? Yeah.
But how lucky is it for some of these bands, like you're saying, AC/DC and Iron Maiden, to have made that switch? Faith No More did it as well, I think.
Oh yeah,
When they went to Mike
right?
Patton,
Yeah.
and then they just launched after that. They're very lucky.
It's risky, right? It's
That's
always
a big take, man.
Yeah, but you have to do it. They say it's a necessity thing. Paul left out of necessity, not because
there was
they
no
wanted.
choice, really.
Yeah, really. But you have to pick the right guy, and they definitely did. Yeah. So Bruce had seen Maiden live in 1979, actually, and he said that when he heard Prowler, he got the shivers. Like really, like I want to be in the band. And man, when they went to see Bruce in Reading, they were actually on tour in France. Steve and Rod flew in specifically to see them. So I just imagine like they're in France and like, we got a day off, and Paul is there like, all right lads, do you want to go fishing tomorrow? Sorry, we're going to go back home. Oh, why are you going back? Oh, just Steve's nan's in the hospital. Can I come? No. Like,
she doesn't like you.
Yeah, it's quite awkward, right? Isn't it? Like, I'm not sure. I'm sure he's up to his head in gear or whatever. Like, but it would have been weird, right?
Yeah.
And apparently, right, Steve, was really sure about Bruce, but Bruce was asked a lot of people for advice. I read some stuff about Bruce actually asked a lot of friends for advice, and he apparently he met Dennis Stratton in a pub and asked him about it.
Okay.
And apparently Dennis said, yeah, if you join the band, you'll break America, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if that's just Dennis being like, yeah, I told you so, or whatever. But that's why I did read that anyway. But anyway, so Bruce is in the band. He wants to do his own thing. He says the key are comfortable. I recommend guys listening to the audiobook. What does this button do?
Yep.
Online if you want to listen more about Bruce, right? We'll talk about it in the future. But they play some gigs in Italy to settle in, and he's doing pretty well. And anyway, Bruce had an audiologist exam from a Welsh guy. Listen to his Welsh accent.
Ever done any shooting? Right-handed? The audiologist grinned cheerfully as he reviewed my results. I nodded. Absolutely typical, he said in a very lilting Welsh accent. Down at 4K, you see. Is that anything to worry about? I asked. No, not really. Probably when you get to 65, but you won't be bothered by then, will you?
No, not really. Do I sound like that?
I think so.
That is like a really exaggerated Welsh accent.
We'll give it a few years, eh?
No, my accent's gone away.
Yeah?
Like it's because I've lived in England and Japan or whatever. It's just gone and gone and gone. But I reckon my original accent was really like,
Yeah.
no, that's good. Yeah, that's really like. So I'm from Wales, and the Welsh accent is quite funny. I think it's funny when I hear it.
Yeah.
The Valley's accent is really funny, right? So this band called Maiden, really like that. And like to English people, we sound like Jamaican or something. Like I'm like, what the hell, right? But yeah, anyway, that's racist, Bruce. Anyway. Yeah, so Bruce gets paid a couple of quid.
Joining Iron Maiden meant being paid the enormous sum of £100 a week. So I rented a room in a house in Stamford Brook, West London.
So that's about £500 in today's money.
Yeah.
Which is pretty decent,
I was going to say, like, hey, yeah.
Not bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a single guy, you're in a rock band, in London.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need to. You don't need money for much, right? What do you need for?
So.
Just beer money, right?
Pretty much.
And rent, I guess. You got a little apartment, whatever.
How much was beers back then? Yeah.
Not that much. I mean, it's ridiculous now, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So Bruce is in the band. Paul is out. Everything's good. Yeah, Bruce is going to do everything. Now, let's think of some other bands' third albums, right? Can you name me Metallica's third album?
Metallica's third album. Jeez, was that Master of Puppets? Was
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. The Clash had London Calling.
Okay.
Slayer had Rain in Blood.
Yes.
Tool is Lateralis.
Ah.
And Queens of Stone Age had Songs for the Deaf.
Yeah.
So those are third album is not bad actually. It can be.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, Tool's Lateralis though. I mean, as a third album, did you enjoy the new Tool album? Have you listened to it much?
Hasn't grown on me.
Yeah.
There are some that I've gone back to.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is gonna have to be a grower.
Yeah, I've tried to listen to it quite a lot. It's okay, but
Yeah.
Anyway. So let's continue a bit more with the band.
As well as being the first album with a new singer and a totally different vocal approach, it was also the vexatious and critical third album for the band. Traditionally, it's the third album that determines whether it's the end of the beginning or the beginning of the end for a band or artist.
Third album in, right? Now, the band is coming up to, they've used up all the material of the past 5 years.
Yeah.
And they have to write all these new songs for the new album coming up, right? Which just so happens to be Number of the Beast, which is insane.
It's like a big clean slate, right?
But they have no idea that they're about to write to do Number of the Beast, right?
They're
which is insane.
Shitting themselves, right?
Yeah, right, right. But it's exciting at the same time, right?
Yeah.
But at this point now, right, guys, you got to imagine that Maiden are becoming a business, right?
Yeah. You
got to treat these things as a business because there's so many jobs on the line now. So if the next album fails, they all look like idiots.
Yeah.
Paul is laughing at them with his Battle Zone and his bloody pop music and bloody those Iron Maiden losers. This is the real shit.
Yes.
Why did you fire me? You should have gone with me. Anyway. But it never happened. Back to reality, where Paul was more successful than Maiden with that kind of music. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, but right. Third album is very big in a lot of bands' career because they gotta, the hype is gone now. They gotta keep it up, man. Because how many bands get the one hit wonder and people, but to keep fans for as long as Maiden have is very, very difficult to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, a very passive band, except for Steve, who was right up the front in the middle. And when I was standing watching them from the front, I was like, don't like the look at that. That's wrong. The singer should be standing there, So the first thing I did was move my little monitors into the middle at the front, donk, which got in his way because he wanted to run to the catwalk in the middle of the stage and my monitors were there, so he had them moved. So I walked on stage and moved them back again.
There's a bit of argy-bargy between him and Steve on stage because Steve likes the central monitors and Bruce likes central monitors.
I'd be singing along, getting into the groove, and all of a sudden I'd feel this thump, and and he'd be there, like not elbowing me out of the way. I thought, hang on a minute, So I had extra long mic stand legs put on my microphone stand.
Steve again. the egomaniac Steve.
He's loving it. He's loving it.
What do you think about that though? So Steve is the bass player.
Exactly.
Now, usually the bass player stands in the back, like in AC/DC, out of the way, just playing the instrument, and the singer's up front doing the rocking.
Yeah.
Now, how do you feel about that? What Bruce just said?
I'll have to go with Bruce on that one. Come on. That's how it's done.
Right? Now,
unless you're Tool, it doesn't matter. That's a whole different story.
Now, Steve does look awesome when he's running up there doing the whole whatever. But, the singer should be up front, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And they're having a fight about it because, Steve is used to be, because Paul was he would go back in a little bit, I guess, whatever. But Paul being the shy guy at the back, whatever works. But for Maiden, Bruce is like his hand movements and all that.
Yeah.
He needs to be right up the front, commanding the and he's really, really good at it as well, right?
Yeah.
Very, very good on it. So watching this made me go on like a rabbit hole of YouTube people fighting.
Yeah.
So if you go to YouTube, just look for this is a video called "Band Breaks Up Live on Stage." Watch this. Okay, so the guy starts off with Bon Jovi's "You Give Love a Bad Name," and he goes "Shot to the heart," and then the guitarist just turns around and just bricks his guitar into the ground, and everyone's just looking at him like, "Oh,
wow."
Okay, no idea what the context is there, but it made me laugh so much because like, "Shot to the heart," and you're too.
Oh.
Never mind. Yeah, it's hilarious, right? But yeah, man. I mean, what do you think about like tradition in bands? Like drummers at the back, guitarists are on the side, bassists on the one side, whatever. I mean, Van Halen had that cool look, right? Because 4 members is always cooler than 5 because you have the 4, right?
Yeah.
One in the back, one to the left, one to the right, and the singer up front. It's also a little bit cooler. Nah, do you think it's cooler when the singer has a guitar as well, or not?
How many people?
4 people, right?
4 people.
Drummer, guitar, bass, right and left, and the singer's
with 4
up front.
people, I think it's nice and full.
See, I prefer to have just one guitar on the left,
Yeah.
bass on the right, drummer, and then the singer just singing.
Yeah.
When the singer has a guitar, it just looks a bit shit. Like bands like Wasp and stuff like that, where they have the singers playing a bass or whatever. I'm just not a fan of it. I think to have
Megadeth? Oh, you're not a Megadeth fan anyway.
But oh yeah,
and he can play.
That's true. But I don't think Megadeth look cool.
Go back to what we were saying. It's all context.
Yeah, it's all context.
It's all
right,
context, people.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think it's awesome that Bruce is properly doing what he said he was going to do, right? And getting in there, and they needed it too, man. Because like Steve is an egomaniac, clearly, right?
I think it was totally good for the band. Like I was saying, with the state that they were in, for him to come in and really just grab everyone by the balls and let's do this.
I mean, let's be honest, right? Besides writing the songs, right? I mean, Steve didn't come up with Eddie.
Yeah.
Now, the Iron Maiden logo is cool, but he stole that from the movie font, bloody David Bowie movie. What's Steve actually ever done for the band?
Oh, he's done nothing.
Nothing,
really.
right?
Look,
I mean, it's all Bruce, isn't it?
Of course it is.
Nobody knows Steve Harris. His name's Steve Harris, right?
Was it?
Boring name, right? Steve Harris. That's not a rock star
Sounds
name.
like a guy that plays bass with flat wound string.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, expensive ones. What an arsehole.
Yeah.
And Bruce Dickinson. Bruce is an unusual name. And Dickinson, which I had to explain to someone once, like, why is it Dickinson? Like, what does that mean? No, I was
break it down.
Yeah. If you break it up word for word, it's like, no, it means son of Dickens. not that one.
We're not going, don't go there.
Right.
Sorry.
Cut that off there because Steve just walked off stage. All the band just walked off stage during Run to the Hills because they're sick of Bruce's shit running up the front. What do you think? How did the conversation go backstage?
Be an interesting one, wouldn't it?
Right, let's pretend, right? I'm Bruce and you're Steve Harris, right?
Steve Harris.
So the
Steve.
here's the situation, right? Usually you run up to the front of the monitors, but I've been doing it now.
Yeah.
So here we go. I'll be Bruce. Oi, Steve, why are you running up to the front? I'm the singer. Get back in the back, you bloody bass player.
Bruce, I know you're new in the band and all. My monitors are up the front. I get to run up to those. Is there anything else you want to say about that?
Listen, I put long bloody stands on my bloody leg stand, right? Mic stand. And I'm going to poke you in the eye with it if you get any closer.
Yeah. I'm going to strangle you with my flat wound strings.
Oh, you play your bass with 2 fingers. Yours 2 fingers.
Fucking smell mine.
Right. Apparently Steve said, he's got to go. He's got to go. Literally walking off. He's like, he's got to go. Fucking hell, Steve. See, I tell you, Steve Harris is a drama queen, man, right? You fired your singer because he was a fucking hassle, right? You know, Paul was great, but whatever. He was doing a lot of shit. And he's literally getting pissed off because Bruce is running up to the front of the stage trying to be a front man of his band, right? And he's like, he's got to go. He's got to go. You absolute bloody idiot, man. I'm telling you, Steve Harris is an egomaniac, right? And I tell you why, because I've already said, stealing those lyrics and just thinking, fuck it, I'm going to cover this song as well. Secretly, I think Steve Harris is a proper twat, right? Because he's stealing lyrics and then covering the band whose lyrics he stole in the future. It brings him up in an interview. He gets a new singer in Bruce Dickinson and he's like moaning because he's going up to the front to be a bloody front man. I'm sorry, mate. Steve,
back to the wall. We need more string.
And how do you feel about bringing your son's band on tour with you or your daughter's band on tour with you to be the opening act for your band? Steve's done it twice.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I saw I Maiden live with Lauren Harris supporting.
Was it amazing? Was it everything you wanted it to be?
It was exactly what you think it would be.
Yeah.
Just Steve Harris's daughter singing, not bad, you know, fine, but in like leather tight trousers, which kept the men occupied. But I was like, for fuck's sake, man. Could you just get a really good band to support them and run them on?
Because they probably couldn't.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
It's Iron Maiden. People would fucking give anything to support them, you know? And right, at the moment, they're on tour with the Raven Age, which is his son's band. Steve.
Yeah.
Right, if you could see Iron Maiden supported by another band. Imagine, right, next year in Osaka?
Yeah.
Who do you want?
Ooh.
Iron Maiden plus special guests.
I'd love to see Iron Maiden and Megadeth together.
Oh, that would be good.
Because there's even that other aspect of like, you got Eddie and Rattlehead.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's true. Yeah. All right, I like
Marty
that.
Friedman's already in Tokyo.
Oh,
That's
good
easy.
point.
Actually, yeah, and I want that lineup, the Rust in Peace lineup.
That would be good, right? Oh, but
the drummers.
What about Dave Ellefson, though? The bass player.
Yeah, he can still come.
Really?
Even though...
Don't say like that.
No.
You know
I'm organising this, right?
You know what happened to him, though, right?
Yeah,
Choose your words wisely. He can still come. Don't say that. For those who don't know, Dave Ellefson of Megadeth, bass player, was fired from the band for doing a FaceTime. I think the kids call it wank to some girl. Yeah. Anyway, but I would love to see Megadeth with Marty Friedman supporting Iron Maiden. Lovely. Except maybe Dave hire another singer. I don't know.
And with that lineup, the drummers passed away. Rest in peace.
Oh, okay.
Nick Menza. Moving on. Who would you like to sing? I'm sure you got something.
Well, I wouldn't mind seeing Megadeth now you said that, because I'd like Holy Wars. Just play Holy Wars 5 times. So That's
not bad. I'd go with that.
Yeah. You know, in Japan, it would be great to see. I don't know, like just someone similar and just someone I haven't seen before. I know it's a tough question. I don't know why I asked it.
No, it's right. But that's my kind of thinking. Like
I like that.
A classic band.
I'll go with you.
Together.
I would love to see Megadeth.
And what recently you had Motley Crue and Def Leppard.
Oh,
their images are very different,
yeah.
but you know they're still kind of that classic heavy metal kind of like. Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. Bruce is in the band. You know, and it's all cut up now, right? So that's just as general as you can. If you want to listen to more detail, go to Bruce's autobiography, and you can find out more details from Bruce's perspective there. But if you want to email us with anything you would like to talk about, listen to ironmaidenbaby@gmail.com. Please let us know. And we're going to cover The Number of the Beast next.
Ooh, looking forward to that.
Yeah. Now, I do need a bit of a prep for this because there's so much to talk about with this album and stuff like that. I want to make sure I cram in as much as possible. It might be like a 10-parter, guys. So bear with us.
One. It's a big one.
Yeah,
Man.
but there's so much to talk about. So yeah, it will be here either next week or like maybe in 10 days, whatever it takes me to prep for it. But I'm really excited to talk about it because it's an album that you know.
It's an album I know. This is the album that I know.
That's right. And what I've done is I'm going to try and buy all the albums that we cover on Mercari, which is the American Mercari. It's like the auction site, but it's flat out bought. I managed to pick up Killers with the misprint on it, Japanese version, for about 4,500 yen. Currently, Number of the Beast with Total Eclipse, which is the bonus Japanese track. The original Japanese one is around the same price. So I'm
I still can't believe the condition that these.
Yeah, look at this condition. I'm going to post on
records
Instagram the vinyls, but they're incredible.
They are mint.
I talked to my friend. He said that most Japanese people buy 2 copies. One for playing, one for keeping.
Or back in the day, how much was vinyl? So,
it says on like 1,800 yen. No, 2,500 yen, it said on the back.
Back then?
Yeah.
That's that's pretty expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive, right? Yeah. But like I said, you get the bonus. That's it. The whole point of having the extra bonus Japanese track was because it was expensive, so they needed to entice you to buy it by having those extra things, you know. So yeah. But so Number of the Beast, guys, classic album, legendary album with Bruce. Bruce is in the band. He got there by, Paul was on his way out. He even said himself he wanted to leave, just wasn't up to the touring. He's out. Now Maiden have got the singer they wanted, and he's joined in the band. He's already causing shit with Steve, the drama queen, and
bit of argy-bargy.
Argy-bargy.
I like that word.
Yeah, and they've got to crack on and get this album go. And this is all fresh music, basically.
Yeah, it's like we're starting again.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, except for they borrow lyrics from another band. And actually, the whole song the vibe of it is kind of like Hallowed Be the Name, except for the hard part.
Well,
and Adrian Smith finally gets a couple of songs.
To get started.
Nah. It's stolen. Totally stolen, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to show you how bad it is, right? Adrian Smith.
Do I want to hear this? This is going to be controversial.
No, you do. You have to hear it, guys, because it is mad. Because what I don't get is how did no one find it until like quite recently? I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me anyway. But yeah, Adrian Smith steps up, man, and gets a couple of songs on the album. Bruce is writing stuff, and it's got Run to the Hills on it. A song that is so good, it's been overplayed so much that people don't even like it anymore because it's so good, so good. Yeah, Clive Burr's last album with the band before he leaves, and but we're gonna listen to this album a lot.
I'm looking forward to the controversy, guys. You're gonna hear it here first, or maybe second or third.
A lot to talk about. Yeah. Anyway, guys, catch you next time.
Take it easy, guys.